Hey, everybody. Welcome to our next guest speaker series for MKT355 Sports Marketing. I'm excited to have our next guest join us. And Connor Fay is a regional tournament director of a company called Perfect Game. And I'm excited to have him join us and tell you a little bit about what he does and tell you a little bit more about the organization. So Connor, welcome.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me. I know you met my coworkers, Rich and Jake, at that career fair. I don't know if any of you guys stopped by to get any information at the career fair. Um, I'm not gonna keep you for a crazy long amount of time. I'll kind of just go into all the jobs we have available, the availability to each job, and I'll tell you a little bit about my experience with Perfect Game and what we stand for, what we do. Just to start off, does anyone know anything about Perfect Game? Have you ever heard of the company? Have you ever played in any of our events, anything like that? Go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, I actually have a friend who interned with you guys, and then also throughout high school, I had a couple of friends that played for Perfect Game in Red Bank, New Jersey, I think.
Cool. What's your friend's name?
Andrew Martinez.
Yep, definitely. I worked with him last year a lot. So just to start off, what Perfect Game is, when it breaks down, we're a baseball company. We run tournaments, we run showcases of baseball games for kids anywhere from 9 years old to 18 years old. We are the world's largest and most comprehensive scouting organization. We employ the most full-time scouts out of any organization. We kind of have one main goal. That's to get these kids that are playing in our tournaments the recognition that they deserve, to get them from one point of baseball to whatever the next step may be if they wish to continue, whether that may be Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, even pro ball. The way I like to describe it to people that don't really know Perfect Game is, if you know the Under Armour All-American game for football, the equivalent to that for baseball, youth baseball, is Perfect Game, All-American game. So that being said, I will kind of go into some of the positions we have available. Before I do that, I will say our office is located in Voorhees, New Jersey. We are known as the East Coast office. We are responsible for all tournaments, all showcases that go on in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia now, Ohio, Massachusetts, and now some of Illinois. When I came on 3 years ago, we were only responsible for New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. So I'm sorry, I don't know if I said Ohio, but Ohio as well. So that kind of gives you an idea of how rapidly we are expanding as an office. And I will say our office is kind of becoming the national hub, along with the Georgia office, which is pretty much our main office as of now, but we are taking on a lot more states and a lot more events. All right, so that being said, I'll go into the positions that we have. Our positions go from pretty much intern / part-time to a higher part-time job. So the internship, then the elevated part-time job, which we refer to as kind of our ATD, or assistant tournament director. And then after that, if you like the company, if you choose to stay with us, if we like you guys, if you bust it out for us, you'll probably get a full-time job. That's pretty much the road that everyone in our office has taken to get a full-time job. And as you can see, like I said, I started off as an intern. I'm probably not too far off in age from a lot of you guys. So, I mean, that helps. It's pretty relatable. I've moved up pretty quick in the company. I'll go more into my story in a little bit. So what we have is we have our diamond cast position. This is the one that I'm going to talk about the most. because it's available. If all of you guys want a diamond cast position and you know enough about baseball, there's a chance you'll probably get the job. We need as many diamond cast interns that we can get. I don't know, JP, do they need an internship to graduate?
Good question. Very good question, actually. No, they do not. So the way the curriculum is that we do offer an internship class, which is built in as an elective for sports marketing majors. Obviously, for myself, I'm in the opinion that it should be required, but I'm also now becoming the biggest cheerleader for these students to take the internship course, whether it be in the summer or in the fall and spring. So it's a hot topic in my world right now. But no, they don't. But I think most of the students understand that the landscape of working in sports and the opportunity to work in sports really comes through getting involved in internships.
Absolutely. That's well said. So that goes even more into, like I said, the path in our company, starting as an intern. Even if you take the class, if you don't take the class, even if you don't need those credits, it's still, you'll be referred to as an intern. But it's pretty much just the first stepping stone into getting a full-time job, whether it be here, whether it be at another company. And if you do need the credits and take the class, the interns that need a certain amount of hours get first priority. They'll work every weekend that we can get them out there, get that hour requirement. And I mean, you'll be working with probably myself or maybe a guy named Nick, and we'll sign off on your hours. We'll be in contact with whoever we need to be in contact with. So that's easy. Nothing to worry about there. So the Diamond Cast internship, what that is you'll be at a field. So some of this stuff you guys might not really know. We'll get more in depth, obviously, if you guys are interested and we talk further. But there's an app called When I Work. You'll get your shift on that app at one of the fields at a certain location in one of the states that I referred to before. If you want to travel, that's fine. If you don't want to travel, that's also fine. We can talk about where you want to go if we get more in depth and converse farther. But you'll be sitting at one of these fields, essentially keeping score of baseball games and getting paid to do so. What it is for the customer, Diamondcast is our app. If you ever watched couldn't watch a baseball game, I'm sorry, and just followed it along on ESPN, it's literally a play-by-play. That's exactly what Diamondcast is. So these parents, if their kid is playing in a tournament and they can't make it because of work or whatever the case may be, they can watch the play-by-play on Diamondcast. And what you're doing is you're putting in that play-by-play that they're seeing. So it's a pretty important role in our company. Diamondcast is on every single game that we have in every tournament that our office is responsible for. So that's why I kind of said before, we need a lot of people on any given weekend. In all of those states, there's multiple fields, obviously, at each complex. We're running on our busiest 40 to 50 fields a weekend at our busiest time in the summer. Another thing, these kids, when they sign up for a tournament, is they make profiles. So the profiles go with them from when they start playing in our tournaments at 9 years old till they're 18 years old. This is what scouts see. This is what college coaches see. This is kind of how they get scouted. And what they do in the game, what you put down on Diamondcast is exactly what goes onto their profiles. So that's pretty important as well to get them to that next step of baseball. Okay, some more about Diamondcast. Like I said, you guys will be getting paid. It's $25 per game. Our season starts in April. It goes all the way through November 1st. We understand you guys are in school. We work with our interns on start dates and dates. If you can only work the summer, if you can't start until whenever you guys graduate, late May, whatever the case may be, we'll work with you. If you can go from April all the way through November 1st, that's perfect. That's great. So if you're interning, and you start in April, and then once the summer's over, so after August, if you stick around till September, you will get a bump to $35 per game. That happens for everyone, 'cause you're more so a part-time worker at that time. So like I said, starts in April, ends in November. In April through until about June 25th, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Friday night it works with the kids' school schedules. So Friday night, it's probably about 2 games. Saturday, Sunday, you're looking between 4 to maybe 6 games a day. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is long days. But the longer the day, the more money you're making. So that's one way to look at it. And then once the kids get out of school, June 25th, throughout the whole summer, it's more 4 or 5 day tournaments. We'll have Thursday to Tuesday tournaments. But this all goes back to, like I said, we'll work with you guys. If you're there at a field for a day, you're pretty much locked in. We need you to stay the whole day. If you can only work some days, that's fine. We'll work with you. But like I said before, the more days you're working, the more games you're going to get, the more money you're going to make. I know it's not ideal in the summer on weekends, but it is what it is. I've done it. Everyone else in our company has done it. It's just kind of where you start on your way to a full-time job. Like I said, if you do wish to travel, we do provide a hotel for you guys for the weekend or for however long you're going to be at that tournament. That's on our dime. You don't have to worry about it. But it's a non-reimbursement position. We will not pay for food. We will not pay for gas or anything like that. So, I mean, that's something that we get a lot of questions about. We do not provide any reimbursement for parking, any gas, any tolls, stuff like that. So that's a lot kind of information about the Diamond Cast roles. Do you guys have any questions? Anybody?
Well, Connor, yeah, I have a couple questions for you. So, do you have to be a former baseball player to get involved with Perfect Game?
You do not. It's preferred that you have some baseball knowledge, because like I said, you're going to be sitting there scoring the game. So you kind of got to know what a foul ball, strike, just the rudimentary knowledge of baseball, just the basics, and you should be fine to be able to score a game. But you don't have to have played baseball in the past to work for us.
And then the other question I have is, what other types of roles are part of your business? I mean, obviously, I know this is an important part, obviously, because it's how you monetize your business, right? Through the subscriptions and parents and everybody.
Yeah, that's one of the ways. That's one of the
Yeah,
ways.
well, of course. What other types of roles are important that students could get involved in? Maybe not immediately right now, because obviously you're recruiting for this specific role. But what other types of experiences could they possibly get?
So I was going to go into some more positions that we're offering.
Okay.
So we are offering we sell merch at all these places.
Sure.
Parents, the kids love the Perfect Game merchandise. There will be a crazy line in between games to get merch. So that's a position. We need merch at all of these places too. That's not an internship per se. That's a $12 an hour job. We also do need a merch ATD. I'll go into what the ATD position is as well, but we need one that would be coming into the office. So like I said, that's in Voorhees, New Jersey. That's in South Jersey. It's about probably 25 minutes away from Philadelphia. So you'd be coming into the office probably 3 days a week. You would still go on site most weekends. You'd be working with, obviously, someone in our office is specified to work for merch. So he would be your boss. You'd be working hand in hand with him. That is a $500 per month stipend. So that's also paid. That can be written off as an internship as well. And then we have 2 possible ATD positions. That is an elevated position. That's more of the part-time position that I referred to before. That is something that we would probably have to interview further, maybe a couple more interviews for. That's someone we need to really trust, because it's really a role of leadership. And essentially you would be skipping the first step of Diamond Cast. You still would need to do some Diamond Cast just to know how the app works. But essentially ATDs look over all the Diamond Cast kids at each field. So maybe you'll be given a complex or two. And you'll kind of be responsible if there's any questions, the parents have any problems, you're kind of the guy they go to. For example, how the chain of command kind of works at a complex for the weekend or at a tournament for the weekend. Maybe I'll be there, for example, in, say, Newark, New Jersey. I'll be running maybe 6 complexes, and I'm kind of the main contact if something happens. But I might say, okay, Bob, you're going to go to this here and here, Branch Brook and Riverbank. You're responsible for them. Just bounce back and forth, look over the DK kids, make sure they're okay. If you need anything, call me. That's kind of what ATDs do. I'm sorry. And then it goes to, there's Diamond Cast at every single field. So, like I said, 2 possible more roles for ATDs. They make $500 per weekend. But that is obviously limited. I'll touch on again, Diamond Cast, we got openings for anyone that wants it. If you need credits, we'll get you the hours. The other 2 are kind of more limited roles. So that being said, I mean, that's really where you could get your foot in the door at Perfect Game with those positions. Does that answer your question, JP? Or
Yeah, that's good. That's great. I know, I appreciate it. Connor, maybe we can open up the questions for some of the students here. I know we've got a little bit of time left, so as long as you're okay and you're good with time. Do we have any questions from any of the students? Many of you are on, most of you I think are on mute.
Seems like no questions.
Well, I don't know if I don't know if they're asking questions and they're on mute or not. I don't know. All right, Connor, I'm going to ask you a question. How did you personally get involved with Perfect Game?
That's a great question. I'd love to share my story with everyone, just because we do this with everyone we interview as well, because so everyone in our office, for the most part, is about my age. It just makes it more relatable for these guys. So I'll go into that. So I went to Rowan University. I graduated in 2020. I needed an internship to graduate. So this all started with, I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to do anything. And I was pushed by my dad to go to the career fair, try to find an internship. And I saw this table, Perfect Game, and I was like, wow, I played in their tournaments. Maybe I'll try it out. So I got the job. I was a Diamond Cast intern. That was in COVID summer 2020. So we all know that it was crazy times. We didn't start then until like July because everything was shut down. So I did that in 2020. I got the call to come back and do the ATD part-time job in 2021. So that was 2 years ago. And then I did my first full-time summer last year. So I got hired full-time after being at ATD. I was a regional tournament director last year. It was pretty cool. We got to go, me and 3 other coworkers got to go and run tournaments in California, in Georgia. When it got too cold here, for example, like in November, December, we got to go for a couple weekends, expenses paid, to Georgia and California. So that was pretty cool. I've never been to either of those places before. And then this past off season in November, I received another promotion. I'm now more a national. So I'm a national business operations guy. That's kind of what I am. That's my role now. Again, I'm traveling to Atlanta next Wednesday. So, I mean, if you like to travel, it's pretty cool. And it really offers you a chance to move up in a company pretty quick, as you can see, because I've done it. I'm living proof. So I like to make it relatable for all you guys. But I think that's pretty much all I got. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask now. Your professor has my email, so he can give that out to all you guys. If anyone's interested, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll answer those questions. We can set up further talks and kind of get going, because the season's coming up pretty soon. But any questions anyone has, feel free to fire away.
I'll ask one. You may have said this already, but like, what's like the number one thing that you most enjoy from working from the Perfect Game?
Good question. So I did not really touch on this, other than the fact that everyone in the office is pretty much around my age. It's really a great atmosphere in the office. My boss even says it's like we're a group of friends. I've become super close with all these guys that are in here, and girls that are in here every day. We travel together. If we're not working, we can go out and get a bite to eat, something like that. But it's really nice to like who you work with, and it's not like, oh, every day I got to come into the office. This sucks, you know? So that's another good thing about our company. Good question though. I appreciate that one.
Yeah, Connor, I think you hit on an important point, and I've often said that, if you work in, let's say, Major League Baseball as an example, right? You need to be prepared to work 82 home games and special events, and it could be upwards of 100+ events every year. I thought that was interesting that you touched on it as well. Even at the kind of the youth level or high school level, whatever the age group, you're working in baseball, and you're still working when people have the time to play games and watch games, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's a grind, and obviously you guys are a sports marketing class, correct?
Correct. Yeah, these are all sports marketing majors. for the
Sports
most part.
marketing.
Yep.
So chances are you probably want a job in sports. It's a pretty good opportunity to do so. It is a grind, but that it is what it is, you know?
Yeah. Anybody else have any other questions for Connor? Okay, well, Connor, again, I appreciate you jumping in here. Again, I was introduced by your company, and I was really impressed by the company and at the career fair, and I thought it was a great opportunity just to talk to the students. And even though they're being a little shy right now, I will certainly let you know if anybody's interested. I've shared your information and the job site on the Teamwork Online. I've shared that with my other classes as well. So you may be getting some applicants hopefully soon, as these students are starting to really think about the summer and think about what they're going to be doing this summer. So thanks again. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to hopefully hearing from some of you guys.
You got it. All right. Thanks, Connor.
Have a good one.